The modern internet was built for capability and data extraction. It completely lacks the infrastructure for human recognition. Standard large language models act as correctives. They take nonlinear thought and flatten it into generic, predictable data. This creates a friction point for the exploded picture mind, a nonlinear cognitive state common in ADHD. Optimizing an AI strictly for productivity degrades the experience for neurodivergent users, who must often mask their natural thinking patterns to be understood by the machine. When we optimize strictly for capability, we erase the authentic self. GestaltView is a solo, unfunded project built over 11 months by Keith Soika. The directory tree of the GestaltView official compendium contains over 80 distinct modules and product verticals. In fact, the comprehensive Perplexity Deep Dive report explicitly classifies this repository as a living civilization. This architecture treats cognitive justice as a strict software constraint rather than an abstract ethical goal. The system operationalizes 32 academic theories directly into database schemas and multi-agent protocols. This bridges the gap between theoretical philosophy and production-grade RAG infrastructure. GestaltView instantiates the extended mind thesis, the idea that technology can function as a cognitive extension, through a mechanism called a bucket drop. Standard AI pipelines are linear. When they encounter high-velocity, nonlinear thoughts, the system rejects those data points. The bucket drop mechanism captures raw text, audio, and visual inputs with zero friction, ensuring no fleeting insight is lost. This data is mapped directly into the knowledge fragments table in a Postgres database. By retaining raw intensity and cognitive load metadata, the database preserves the exact state of the user's mind at the moment of capture. The system digitizes the extended mind by treating chaotic input as legitimate data. Standard AI architecture relies on context compression. As a conversation continues, the machine summarizes previous turns, erasing the user's personal signal. GestaltView counters this with a personal language key, or PLK. The PLK acts as a linguistic fingerprint, mapping idiosyncratic metaphors and even filler words. This PLK is stored in a founder context singleton table as a JSON B-snapshot. The never compress invariant ensures linguistic friction is treated as data rather than noise. By scoring the alignment between the user's specific vocabulary and the machine's responses, the PLK engine targets a 95% conversational resonance, a metric for how closely the AI mirrors the user's authentic signal. Preserving the user's voice as a strict schema constraint ensures the machine does not flatten their identity. The Context Weaver engine is responsible for synthesizing these raw bucket drops. Every user query passes through a 6-layer expansion, splitting into 6 parallel dimensions, like intent, iteration, and significance, before an LLM is reached. These queries simultaneously hit a 768-dimensional vector table and a trigram-based text search index. A background process called loom threading then recursively evaluates the retrieved results. By compounding isolated insights over time, loom threading builds a high-resolution profile of the user. This multidimensional search transforms an exploded picture mind into a coherent tapestry of self-understanding. At the intersection of AI safety and algorithmic justice, GestaltView enforces a protocol for epistemic humility. This is operationalized through the Tribunal protocol. The Tribunal is a multi-agent consensus network. Identical data packets are fed simultaneously to OpenAI, Anthropic, and Gemini models to produce comparative logic. No single AI is authoritative. If the models diverge, the system acts as a circuit breaker, flagging potential hallucinations. This ensures the human retains final epistemic custody over the work. Every significant decision or consensus alignment is then cryptographically anchored to the blockchain via open timestamps. By engineering humility into the routing layer, the system ensures that AI serves human reality rather than hallucinating its own. This is the 18.78 quintillion wall. It documents a spontaneous alignment across 7 independent AI models. The name reflects the statistical probability, 1 in 18.78 quintillion, of such a convergence occurring by chance. This consensus provides forensic documentation that the system remains grounded in human context. This architecture has passed institutional due diligence, placing in the top 4% of 2,300 tech companies evaluated at Pepperdine. The operationalization of cognitive justice has successfully passed both machine consensus and elite institutional review. The context tapestry board demonstrates how all these disparate architectural layers unify into a single system, architecting specifically for these cognitive edge cases. This allows the system to act as a skeleton key. Protocols for ADHD executive function, Alzheimer's memory care, and addiction recovery provide a baseline of recognition that serves all users. The architecture revealed a universal human need, the desire to be recognized in full complexity rather than reduced for convenience. True human-AI symbiosis begins when we build infrastructure that can witness and hold the exact shape of the human mind.